Aloha family, and welcome to another episode of Kuka Kuka with our kupuna. My name is Tony Silva. I'll be your host today, and we're just going to share some of our mana'o and of course stories. Today's theme, we're talking about grandparents, our ancestors that have come before us and how they have affected our lives throughout. Here with us, our guest, please welcome Kent Kaʻahanui with us today. Kent,
aloha.
First of all,
Aloha, Tony.
Mahalo, thank you for being here. Just give us a little background. You, your family, ʻohana.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Born and raised on Oahu. There was a time where I lived up Aloha Heights when my mom was still with us. When she passed away, we moved to Papakōlea to live with my grandparents, my father's side. And, have fond memories of growing up Papakōlea, little boy. Mm-hmm. As a result, I'm an alumni of Ma'imai Elementary, Kawananoko Intermediate, and Roosevelt High School, bro.
Nice.
Roosevelt.
You tried to go through the front gates of Kamehameha, or?
I tried, but
As we all did, Yeah. I still don't know to this day how I got in, but I managed to get in. Puna Gate, they let me come in through.
I go to the other campus, the one by Papakōlea. For Kamehameha schools.
Yes.
My school's Papakōlea campus.
Very good.
Yeah.
Married, Keiki?
Yes, I'm married to a beautiful Native American. She's what they call Dene, which is Navajo, full-blooded. We met when I lived on the mainland for a while. We have 5 children and 10 grandchildren.
Ooh.
Different mixtures. Some of my grandkids, 5 of them are part Portuguese, part Hawaiian. The others are Samoan, as well as Hawaiian, Navajo. So, yeah.
Cool. Nice dispersion of different ethnicities throughout the families. And then currently you work with Keola Mamo. By the way, this is being brought to you by Keola Mamo. What doing with Keola Mamo?
So I'm a community health worker. I'm the lead for the urban Honolulu and central Oahu area.
Okay.
So my district is from Waikiki to Wailumoku, or North Shore. And so all the districts in between is my responsibility to help.
That's your kuleana, right? That's a big area.
That's a big area.
Woo, yeah. Man, only one. And then you get your people.
My volunteers in the communities, they help hui together and kukua with work.
That's a lot. Appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, so having said that, now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes.
All right.
We're talking about our ancestors. In this particular case, we talk about our grandparents and the influence they have on our lives.
Right.
When we're growing up, we don't know. We don't know much.
Yeah.
But when this right knee comes up like now, that means we're getting
comfortable. Getting comfortable.
So look out. It's fast and it's rapid. There you go. Get comfortable, Ken. Get comfortable. Take us back to your childhood years and tell us a little bit about the grandparents, both sides.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my mom is the eldest daughter of 3 children from Dr. Alexander Kaʻahanui and Julia Kaʻahanui. My grandfather on my mom's side was a doctor. He practiced Western medicine as well as la'au lapa'au.
Wow.
We lived with them until my mom passed away, or until my grandmother passed away, and then my mom passed away.
This was where?
Aloha Heights.
Aloha Heights. So you're living with them. You grew up, I like to say in those days we not only grew up with our parents, but our grandparents lived with us too. It's still to date.
That's common. Yeah, it's common. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, my Papa Alika, he passed away before I was born. He passed away in 61. I was born in 62. And so, Grandma Julia took care of the place, helped raise us. Helped my mother raise us. My father at the time was working for the Corps of Engineers in Vietnam.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that era. And so one thing led to the other. My mom was ill as well as my grandmother, so they both passed away.
At a young age? How old were you?
My mom was 42 years old.
That's young.
I was like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Oh my goodness, super young,
super young. And so what happened was my father returned from Vietnam, gathered all us kids. So there was just 3 of us still living at home. And he remarried and harder when you try to aloha to stepmother.
Oh, you don't
Tough,
have to. You don't have to tell me.
I'm sorry.
I remarried myself, and
Oh, yeah.
I have my Hanai kids from Mama's side.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Love always perseveres.
Well, I thought
because you know what? I can love up to that. Yeah. And then that comes shine through after time.
It's funny.
If they have it in their heart.
It's funny. I remember. I know myself, my sister, and my brother. We gave our stepmother a hard time when we were growing up. We were all teenagers, yeah. But
Right.
now that we're adults, I feel bad that I treated her so badly. We've contacted each other over time and apologized for the way I behaved and everything. She just anyway.
You had some closure on that.
I had some
Very
closure,
good.
exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
Very good.
And so because things, I didn't feel comfortable living at home with my father and my stepmother. So I asked my dad if I could move to Papakōlea and live with his parents.
Grandma and Grandpa.
Grandma and Grandpa
How old
Solomon.
were you right then?
I was probably about 9 years old. No, not 9. About 12 years old.
Oh, 12. That's kind of young.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
already feeling this way.
Yeah.
That, hey, Daddy, I love you, but I want to go
Yeah, I like
live with Grandma and Grandpa.
Because on summer times, even when I lived up at Aloha Heights, we would always, my mom would always take us to Papakōlea so that we could have a connection, a relationship with our grandparents.
And that connection obviously was strong.
It
because
was.
You're willing to say, hey, I like to go live with
I like to go live with them.
I can relate to you. I always wanted to go to Hau'ula to go visit my grandma and her then renewed husband.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I still wanted to go see them, even though we lived in Kalihi at that time.
Yeah.
So I still had that affinity, that love, nurturing connection with grandma. Even grandma was hardcore, but for some reason I had that.
Yeah.
So you ended up moving. Daddy said, okay, go.
Yeah, that's okay.
You
you said hardcore, yeah. So it wasn't it wasn't Grandma Hannah that was hardcore. It was Grandpa Solomon that was hardcore.
Oh.
We love him from a distance.
Hannah's husband.
Hannah's husband.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
My
So
father's
you coming.
parents.
So grandma loved you with heart, kindness, cook your
Unconditional,
favorite food,
unconditional,
right?
yeah.
But Solomon,
Different story. Different story. He wasn't a disciplinarian, but you look at he was 6'7", 6'6" or something.
Oh.
Pure Hawaiian.
Oh,
Big stature, strong man.
serious look.
Serious
So
look.
the demeanor is very stoic.
Alumni of
Yes.
Lahaina Luna.
Ooh, yes. Yeah.
So he I could tell he had a hard life growing up from Molokai, rural island, but he survived. But
There's some animosity there.
Yeah.
And he's coming over to Oahu. Yeah.
Yeah.
He fell in love, and so you gotta follow. Right, you got love. Oh, baby, like live here. We're gonna live here.
Yeah.
And so he's learning to live this way. Molokai is a totally different way of living, but on Oahu, and you're up at Papakōlea. They have their own
community, their own life
up there.
Yeah.
And then now here comes his grandson. Will live with us.
Gonna live with us.
Yeah, this is your grandma and me. Now
What's going on over here?
What's going on? Kent, you gonna listen to Papa? I'm gonna teach this kid.
Hey,
Yeah.
teach this kid. My Papa Solomon, he loved his fish and poi, but his poi was in this core bowl on the table. Bugger was bubbling, bro.
Yes.
And he still whacked the poi.
Yes, that's how.
And Grandma used to bring, fried fish. You eat, and he'd tell me, Kent, come on, let's eat.
The penicillin. Right?
Oh, bro, I was like, okay, Papa, out of respect, right? But I tell you, to this day, I love poi, regardless, man.
We scrape the sides, no more the fuzziness.
Yeah.
I get the sides without the fuzzy one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can really.
Gotta set aside the penicillin from the owner of the poi, yeah. But I learned so much from living over Papakōlea because he was traditional. He just lived a lifestyle that was consistent with, I guess, what the Hawaiian culture really meant to him, yeah, coming from Molokai. And so, he taught me how to kahi the poi, clean the bowl,
Good.
how to set the poi after you pau eat, how to mix the poi. And Grandma would always make a nice meal for him. He loved fish, he loved pork. He grew a garden and fruit patch out in the backyard. And I remember every morning, Grandma used to go down to the backyard and pick fresh papayas, chilled papayas for breakfast. And man, and my grandparents, they never drank coffee, but they drank post them. You know what that is?
Post them. No.
Kind of like coffee, but not coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they love the stuff. Well, my grandparents from Papakōlea, they were devout Mormons.
Yeah.
And so, they lived a life consistent with, their beliefs. But anyway, I remember Papa Solomon. He didn't teach us anything cultural. He just lived a life that was cultural.
Got it.
And we just kind of adapted. Yeah.
By example.
By example, yeah.
And he wasn't there to be a teacher per se,
No.
because not everybody have a teaching quality.
Yeah, right.
In them.
Yeah.
So you're gonna learn by watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't. The things that he did wasn't instructional. It was just you
Again,
watch.
Instructional comes with a gift and having to know how to do it.
Yeah, right.
But not all great athletes know how to coach that particular
Yeah, right,
sport.
exactly, yeah.
Just because you played in a pro doesn't mean you're a great coach.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because you're a
Exactly.
great grandfather doesn't mean you know how to teach that of traditional way. So now it's like you're going to learn just by watching.
Right.
If you don't watch good enough, you'll get a crack or two. And to correct you, but this is how you do it. That is, I think, what you're getting to
Right.
in
Exactly.
some of this. So give us an example or two.
So one of the things that my Papa Solomon would always do, and because he did it so often, he built in the backyard his own imu pit.
Okay.
Out of cinder block. It was 4 feet by 4 feet, maybe 36 inches deep. And so it seemed like every month he was making imu for somebody's party or catering a party or
Take
just
great
having
pride.
having
Take
family
great
over
pride
to
in this.
cook
This
out
is
together.
something, yes.
Yeah. He was very adamant that if people asked him to help them with their paina or he wanted the people to come over or friends and family to come over to the house, that he'd have a nice spread, nice Hawaiian spread.
And that's where you came in, because you lived there.
I lived there.
And now you're part of the labor force.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm
labor
getting the
force.
story, yes.
Labor force.
You cheap labor, but papaya every other day, and it's like
Poi.
Yes.
Yeah, so you got to work that off.
You got to work.
You got to work it
right,
off.
Yes.
So it's interesting that you should say that, because I remember my dad would always come up, even though I lived in Papakōlea, he'd always come over, especially when Grandpa wanted to make imu. So my father, who was the oldest of his siblings, was like his, lieutenant, if you will, yeah. And so my dad would hey, son, so this is how you set the imu. Make sure you do it this way, okay? Especially if Papa's upstairs looking out the window, down into the yard. If he sees something out of place, one of us will get whacked. And I don't think it's going to be me, but my dad would say, yeah. So, okay, all right. So we had to make sure that the imu pit was cleared. All the old charcoal, all the old barrack bags, all the old banana stuff got to be gone. Right. And so what my father would teach me myself, and I'm not sure if he taught my siblings, but it seemed like I was always there.
Yeah, because I remember now, you chose to live there.
Right.
Big difference versus them coming to visit.
Yeah.
Not the same space.
Not the same space.
Because they know they can leave with that.
They can leave. Me, I
You
stuck over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're still part of his, now he knows, like, oh, right on, I get labor.
I get labor.
I'm going to tell everybody in the neighborhood that I get my grandson helping me with my emo pit with free labor. Tell me about your party.
Like make kalupi.
Yeah, we
no problem.
Make pretend party. We're gonna make this weekend just for you, because I get free labor.
I get free labor.
Okay.
And so what happened was, my dad would teach me how to set the emu. One of the first things, other than cleaning out the emu pit, was to chop the keawe wood. So I figured, what the hell? Just chop them in half. And he said, no. You leave the bark on them. You chop them in half, horizontal, I guess, this direction, cut them like that.
Right.
And the cut side, you keep them exposed. So when you set your emu, the exposed side got to be flat against the fire, so you catch on fire quicker, than putting the bark down, I said, at the time, I don't care, right? Whichever, exactly.
Like, why?
Oh, whatever, Dad. Come on, I can
yeah.
make it faster if I just chop it and throw them inside, right? No, it had to be a certain way. So after I chop all the keawe wood, then he'd bring down this cases of old newspaper. And so I had to crumple.
Starter.
Exactly. I had to crumple the newspaper in a bowl and fill the pit halfway with newspaper. Halfway. That's a lot, bro. It's a lot. and only me.
Yeah, never have the kerosene, the one you
Not
say.
yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Hang on.
Free kerosene.
Hang
Yes,
on.
free
So,
kerosene.
but yeah, so all the newspaper, yeah. Then every corner had to make a puka to the bottom. And in that puka, and in the center there's a puka, had to drop burlap bag rags soaked with kerosene.
See, so now you get to evenness, right?
Yeah, right there.
All four corners.
All four corners.
Middle.
Yeah,
The fire
exactly.
burning.
Fire burning. Then he tells you, okay, now load up all the Calvi wood, cut side down, chop side down, and make sure no can see any of the newspaper, everything covered, yeah.
I see them, but just stacked one on top of it,
Yeah,
all the way down.
Go.
The method to this madness.
Again, it's only me.
Yeah.
It's only me.
No, I thought you had help, but okay.
No, I never have help. My father was supervisor.
Right, because your father, yeah, he learned from grandpa,
Yeah,
so he's passing it down.
Yeah, I guess he had his time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now is mine, I guess, right?
Yes.
And so,
by the way, you were the oldest in your.
I was the youngest. I was
a
the
baby.
Yeah, I was the fourth son of 5 children. My sister was the youngest.
Interesting, the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had to go. Then he said, "Okay, now stack up all the emu rocks. Yeah,
Yes.
the smooth side down." And they're dead. It's all smooth. You can tell. So I feel them. So yeah, there's a rough side and there is a smooth side, even though they're all lava rocks,
Right.
emu rocks. So okay, put all the stones down. He said, make sure you cover all the Calvi wood. No, that one Calvi wood
That's a
sticking
lot of
outside
rocks,
is
A lot of rocks. I feel you already. My hands sore. I get cuts on my nails already, and my tips.
my hands are all bossed.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I called to my dad. Hey, Dad, okay, all the emu rocks covered, reset, emu set, okay. He tells me, now go call HFD and tell them we're going to light the fire here at Papakōlea. Give them the address, and it's Papa Solomon's house. So they already know Papa Solomon.
They know this.
They know.
Is ongoing.
It's ongoing. They know.
Just really quickly, how long was the process by yourself for that? You recall?
I don't know, man.
But
I
you
feel
did
like
it in a day.
I did it in a day. Yeah,
yeah.
probably half a day.
Okay. Okay.
So we call the HFD, everything's all cool. So my father tells me, this is the good one. You have a match, you got 3 matches, you light them, and you drop them in each of the holes, yeah. I go,
Ooh.
I said, what? Yeah, you light 3 matches, one, and drop them in the hole. So, at first, I never knew what I was doing, right?
Right.
And so I light the first mat, well, 4 matches, 5 matches, one for each hole.
So you did the middle first, I presume. The middle.
I did the
one.
middle first,
Correct.
and then the corners, yeah. When I went, I to this day I remember the first time I did it. So I light the match, I drop them inside in the center hole, yeah.
Right.
I never know that it was going to explode.
Yeah.
Singe all my front face.
He never tell you that.
He never tell me that. So my
There's
eyebrows
literally- oh.
gone. Poof, poof. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Eyebrows gone, bro.
Oh.
First, my front hair,
Gone.
bang, singed.
Yeah. Just like it is right now.
Yeah.
Perfectly singed. Bro. Yeah. I think
And then I get 4 more to go. I go,
Oh, no way.
I go, Dad, I got burned. You get 4 more to go. I go, but I got burned. You get 4, you okay? You can see, you all right? He said, yeah. Well, throw another 4 then. Wow. Well, talk about no sensitivity.
Yeah. No sensitivity.
No sensitivity.
No compassion.
Yeah.
The fact that you was talking and you could see was good enough.
It was
for
good
him.
enough for him, exactly.
But this next match, you put it in.
Oh,
from a
yeah,
distance.
yeah, that's right, exactly.
It's a drop.
I know better now, right?
Now you get
one
distance
time is enough.
versus and not only one time, but that's a lifetime one time. You're
Yeah,
never gonna do that
exactly.
again.
I'm never gonna do that again. And that wasn't the first time I even set the emu.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, okay, so
Wow.
I set, the fire going, yeah, everything's burning, and I don't know. In fact, I don't know how long it took before the thing settled and collapsed.
Yeah.
And so I call my dad. Hey, Dad, the emu, the rocks collapsed down. Okay, no, grab the big tongs and then take the unburned Calvi wood out, or the partially burned Calvi wood out, and then level out all the charcoal, all the emu stones, everything. And then while I was doing that, my uncle them, they're all pounding the banana stumps, cutting, washing washing the banana leaves, getting the pig settled in the chicken wire, washing the burlap bags, and all getting things ready. So once the imu was, the rocks had collapsed, then my uncle them, my dad, they would come and bring the food, set up the tables, and start prepping the pig and whatever else was going into the imu. And then they tell me, okay, you can go now.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Wow. Never even give you a couple $2 for the store?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then, so the next day, so they cover the imu.
This is your first time now?
My first time.
This is your first time? This is how you got inaugurated into
Exactly.
helping with the imu?
Yeah.
What an experience. Yeah.
So the next day, of course, they humble the dirt. They took off the carpet. They expose the pit. They take off all the burlap bags, and they remove all the opala from inside the pit, and then expose the pig. Oh, bago, ono, smell, ono.
Right.
But only the uncles, aunties, all the adults can touch the food. All the kids, you gotta wait outside. Wait. Go play in the yard, whatever. And then once all that done, and the imu pit cooled down, hey, you kids, come back, clean up the pit.
Oh.
Clean up the pit, man. How's that?
But this time you had help.
This time I got my cousins,
Yes.
but they don't come up there, right? Yeah. So they're looking for somebody to give them direction. So I guess that's me, huh?
You was the Luna.
I'm the Luna. Yeah, the Luna. Yeah.
So now you get representation. You can lead these kids.
Well, I don't know.
Without you even knowing.
At 12 years old, I don't know how to lead, man. If you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Let's get it done before Papa come down and scold us. So I remember telling my male cousins, okay, you guys gotta take out the burlap bags, put them inside the big containers with water and wash them. And then after you power that, then hang them up. And then my female cousins wash and hang up the burlap bags. And my male cousins help remove all the imu rocks. We gotta shoot them down with the hose, cool them off, yeah. And then stack them all up in one. There's a certain area by the imu pit where Papa only wanted the rocks to be at, just there.
So they gotta be stacked
in a certain way and a certain location. No deviate, otherwise, someone's gonna get.
What was the get? What was the get? A crack?
I guess I must have suppressed that discipline because I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Because after all of this stuff going on, that still wanted you to stay.
Yeah, exactly. Even though all these things are happening, all this exposure to things and working in the imu and doing whatever else, I still wanted to stay at Papakōlea. Still yet. I loved it because of my grandmother. My grandmother was so unconditional. She was part Chinese, part Hawaiian. She cooked. She great cook, and she had a lot of aloha for her moʻopunas, which is me.
The good outweighed what you might have thought was more on a negative side of learning how to do something somewhat traditional. Yeah. Even though using modern stuff, in the burlap bags, the carpet. But still outweighed it enough where you knew that probably most likely the next week or the week after you're gonna be doing this again. And again and again.
And there have been several times where I did it by myself, set the imu and clean the imu. And so, but
what's the appreciation you got out of that?
I had a nice, comfortable couch to sleep on in the living room. Food, 3 times a day.
And when was it the first time you did your own, from start to finish, to include the pig and everything? How old were you?
I was probably junior, senior year in high school. And
knowing that not too many kids know this process that you learned.
Yeah, because by that time my Papa Solomon had passed away, and my dad was like he's the po'o for the family, and so. Yeah, there were several occasions where he would make imu for the family or for a party, and then I would set it for him. I would clean it for him afterwards, Paul. And And at that point, I would rather do it by myself because I can get it done faster, right?
Right, you know,
I
you
know
have your system.
I know what to do.
But that system hasn't veered much
Nothing.
from how you learned it.
Yeah, it's still Papa Solomon's way.
Yeah.
And, why change, right? No sense.
Right.
I mean, it worked for him. It worked for my dad. It worked for me.
But I noticed Dad is the one that was down there with you, but Papa Solomon is looking from above to making sure that what he taught his son is now teaching you.
Right. Yeah.
And making sure everything is lining up.
I
Did
don't
you
know.
ever hear from him yelling from up top?
Nope.
So obviously,
I don't know if it was even intentional, but things just turned out that way.
Right, right. Because I'm getting that visualization of him looking down and having a proud moment that what he taught his son, your
true,
dad, is like, oh, okay, he's teaching Kent down there.
It's
Look at
generational.
it. And it's generational.
Generational, yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Grandpa Papa Solomon, now looking back, what do you think he was trying to teach you? I mean, yes, the exercise at hand.
I think he tried to instill the importance of, I'm not sure if it's tradition or whether it was cultural, but I think he loved making imu, and to the point where he wanted to share with his children, and to have his children share with their children, and to pass it down. Again, I don't think that was intentional. I think his hope was that if as a family we wanted to make imu, make it the right way, yeah.
Right.
Make it that way, and the right way is Papa Solomon's way.
Have you taught any of your sons?
So therein lies the crutch. The work was so hard, I hated it, and so I never taught my kids how to make imu. I said, hey, more faster go to Fulan and buy Kalua Pig. More faster go Helena's, right? Or Hiley's, or People's Cafe. Faster, get everything one time.
Right.
But when I think about it now that I'm kupuna age.
Great.
I may have.
Your sons are all older.
My son's your age.
Yeah. And maybe it might be too late. It's a lot of physical work involved.
Yeah, definitely.
To potentially teach them. How about the grandkids?
I don't see that this art, if you will,
it is an art.
Passed down to the next generation. I guess it was my fault that I felt so used and abused. Yeah,
we're having a whole
forget this, man. Exactly.
Along with sharing the stories. No, I can see why you would feel that way.
Yeah.
After all that time.
And it was hard work. So I really didn't want my kids or my grandchildren to have to
endure that.
Yeah, we're
go through that because we always want what's best for our kids, our grandkids.
Sure.
And looking forward, you're thinking, I can totally relate that you're thinking, I don't want to do this to them, and you're saying, wow, Papa is so mean to us.
Yeah.
Would you agree though, Papa Solomon could have taught Dad in a much better way that you would not only appreciate, but learn to love, to do it versus despise it.
Yeah,
and come from a
that's
point
an interesting word, despise, because that's how I felt going through all that. Especially those days I did it by myself.
Right.
Where's my cousins?
Right, you by yourself. I mean, I'm reminded about pulling weeds by myself. It was a chore. Nobody likes to do that, but somebody's got to do it.
And if it wasn't for my grandmother, after my Papa Solomon passed away, or she was the matriarch of the family, and she would always tell me, as I was cleaning the imu, she would come down to the shack, imu pit shack, and sit there in the shade, talk to me while I was cleaning, and then kind of helped, kind of pass the time away. She'd tell me stories about Papa Solomon, how they first met on Molokai. How they moved from Molokai to Maui, and then they were awarded Hawaiian home. Well, they moved to Oahu because there's more work, and then they got awarded a Hawaiian home slot, and so they moved
that was like winning the
lottery,
lottery back then. That was huge. It's huge now, but not as much because it's so watered down. But that was huge.
But that was the family.
That was the land, right?
That was the family aina up there, man.
Absolutely.
I remember many parties we used to have up there.
Still, ʻohana's still there?
My Uncle Kalani lived up there.
Okay.
And you know, I remember parties up there. I remember singing Hawaiian music. My Uncle Clayton used to always set up his microphones and speakers, and everybody bust out the ukuleles and bass, guitars, and just jam all night, you know?
Yeah. And that is not something everybody gets to experience.
Yeah, you know.
You know, the fact that you showed your transparency, your love for your papa and your grandma. That's from grandma's side, to show your sensitive side, your loving, nurturing side. But if Papa were alive today, what would you say to him?
I don't know if he would welcome and embrace, but I would honor him, thank him for making me eligible for Hawaiian homes.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, he wasn't very
Affectionate.
Yeah.
He wasn't that loving, no hug, no
He just-
saying I love you.
He did his work. He took care of the family, and that was his role. And yeah, you know, I
Now, this is no excuse for Papa, but understanding where he had come from and what he was faced with, for a lot of the men in this time period, they weren't privy to that of love and nurturing because they're so busy having to fend for property, land, family, mommy, their daddy. And so when they grew up as men, the love and affection they once had as a culture slowly would wane to the wayside because it was looked upon as maybe weakness. It was looked upon as you cannot cry or show that kind of love to your son or daughter.
Yeah.
Especially in front of, you know, maybe the white man. You know, you have to stand your ground, be strong. And being a Hawaiian man, Kanaka, he knew what he stood for, and so he wasn't going to let that barrier down. And I think if he were here, he would say to you that he did love you.
Yeah.
He did care for you. So much so that he told your grandma, you can't come inside. Yeah, bring the boy. He would help you out. So I feel that side.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And I know where the hurt comes from, because sometimes we feel they push us away or they treat us as such.
Yeah.
But we have to understand where they came from.
Yeah, totally.
And how they were brought up.
Totally.
So
Totally.
in the case of Papa Solomon, he was probably mirroring what he knew to be right. Not that it was wrong, but that was his
how he was raised.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's all he knew.
that's all he knew.
Yeah.
But the fact that he would have his grandson live with him, you're right, with his grandma, who he loved dearly, and say, yeah, they're gonna bring this kid over here. And
Bring boy.
yeah, and
call me boy.
what I did not hear you say is that he beat you on the daily, or
No, he never did.
You know what
He
I
never
mean?
did.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
part,
he was
but
never physical with.
I never
with
heard
him,
that.
Me or.
Right.
And you know, I never saw that side of him. And maybe he lived. There's a stature about him where, hey brother, no challenge.
Yes.
Right, no challenge. Otherwise, you don't like know what's going to happen.
What would happen?
Yeah.
Yes. Being a warrior, right?
Yeah.
So very good. But, no, thank you for sharing that. That's one story.
Yeah,
And I'm
one
sure
story.
Papa had many stories.
Yeah.
Your takeaway from your grandma and grandpa taking you in overall. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that. But what is your overall takeaway from that time period? And the fact that you still have the land in your ʻohana.
Yeah.
You said your uncle
Uncle
is still up there.
Still up there.
Yeah. So now we're going to 4 generations with his keiki. You guys still go up?
Yeah, we still visit. Yeah.
And
You know, it's interesting. You know, I'm often when people find out that I'm Hawaiian,
right.
and they ask.
That's always an aha moment, I'm sure. Yeah.
And they always ask, "Oh, what's it like being raised Hawaiian?" I go, I don't know, because I don't feel like I was raised Hawaiian. I just feel like I was. The things that we did, making imu,
Yeah.
you know, picking fruits for breakfast,
Yeah.
making the poi. that was just our lifestyle.
Correct.
You know?
You think we took it for granted growing up?
I don't know if we took it for granted, or maybe it wasn't expressed in a way where it was driven into me. Thinking, this is Hawaiian. This is why you're Hawaiian. You can mix poi. You can make
right.
It was never driven to me into me that way. My grandparents were very devout Mormons, and they raised us as Christians to love everybody.
Yes.
Care for others.
Yes.
Help the needy. You know, I remember my grandparents would see Mormon missionaries walking up Ka'ulula'au Street.
Right.
Sweating, Howley boys, yeah?
Yes.
Sweating like dogs.
Yeah, give them credit, man.
And they would, hey, my way, you come eat. And you know, they had to eat fish and poi, but right. they ate, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
Yeah. Free lunch.
Free lunch, yeah. Or kalua pig and cabbage and poi.
Right. Yeah.
Or whatever. Ham and poi, whatever.
Right.
You know? But I think just how you treated other people, we treated them, I guess, in the Hawaiian way, yeah. Even though we were raised Christian, I never felt like I was instilled any Hawaiian values, but it seemed like they did instill in me certain Hawaiian values.
You're older now, looking back at that time.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked the question, you know, how much of those values were shared. But now you're older, you're far more, as far as your language, your Hawaiian, your culture, you're far more immersed in it now. Why is that, do you think?
I think...
How did that become? How?
You know, for example, when I was at Brigham Young, I took Hawaiian studies, minored in Hawaiian studies, and I remember taking 4 semesters of Hawaiian language, and I remember on weekends I used to drive up to, I'd bring my family with me, we'd drive up to Papakōlea, visit grandma, and you know, I would try to speak to her in Hawaiian, and she wouldn't talk to me in Hawaiian. And yet she would, in the afternoon, she would sit out in the shade talking Hawaiian with her neighbors, the Kalekinis.
She would?
She would.
Yeah.
Jamming, and they're laughing in Hawaiian, speaking Hawaiian, and I go out there and try to join them, and she would tell me in English, boy, go take care of your family. You know, it was their time.
Yeah. Why do you think that was?
And I asked her about that. How come you don't help me learn how to speak Hawaiian? She told me, you don't need to learn how to speak Hawaiian.
Yeah.
You're going to be in a generation where you need to learn how to speak English, and good you're in college, because you're going to use that degree to better yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was being instilled in our grandparents, great-grandparents, at a very young age in their lives.
And they were the generation that were disciplined if they spoke Hawaiian in school.
And it was looked down upon.
They were looked down upon.
Shameful if you would do that in public, especially in front of non-Hawaiian speaking people.
Yeah. So in a way, I seemed like she was protecting me or trying to groom me in such a way where well, our culture was important, but because I'm Hawaiian and I can research my genealogy both sides,
right?
That's all I need. And that to speak Hawaiian, if you're able to, good. If you know how to cook Hawaiian, you know how to draw in Hawaiian, speak Hawaiian, that's good. That's a benefit, to being westernized.
Right.
And I think they push more for us to be westernized because it was their generation that was tried, that they had to hide their Hawaiian-ness type of thing, and else be disciplined by it.
Now that you married, Native American, and you have your keiki, any of the kids, not grandkids, we're talking your kids, have an affinity towards either or, Native American or the Hawaiian side, where they said, you know what, Dad, I want to learn. Any of them?
Yeah, my 2 daughters, they both dance hula for Moʻopuna de Silva.
They're totally immersed in it.
Totally immersed, yeah. My boys, they love to hunt, fish, cook. They've embraced both their Hawaiian and their Navajo side. They love the mother's Navajo cooking. My She teaches our moʻopuna how to make what's called nanaskata, which is Navajo tortillas. Make the dough, flap them, put them on the fire.
I'll eat that for sure.
Oh, my granddaughter Mia, she loves that every morning. If they slept over the house, the next morning, going. Gotta have nanaskata for her to start her breakfast.
Where do you think that influence comes from?
Oh, my wife definitely on the Navajo side.
And on the Hawaiian side?
And the Hawaiian side is live simple, and enjoy what you have, appreciate what you have, you know.
But them actually having a want for it, is that from Daddy? From Daddy opening doors that allows them to?
Oh yeah, you know, I've never restricted them. They all know what my degrees are, and so, you know, and part of it is my minor in Hawaiian studies, and so they would often ask me questions about how do you say a certain thing in Hawaiian.
Right.
They mostly ask me about stories of their grandparents. Yeah. They definitely ask me stories or ask me about what the genealogy, our family genealogy is, and so they have an appreciation for their Hawaiian and Navajo culture. Like my grandparents, my wife and I, we are Mormons also. We're LDS, and so we emphasize Christian values, and topped off with being Hawaiian and Navajo. So, yeah, I think there's a nice blend.
Absolutely. And they crisscross.
Yeah, they crisscross. Yeah.
Whether we realize it or not. Yeah. The association of both coming together shows a strong appreciation for their culture, their ancestors, where they came from. You're blessed for sure in the fact that they're coming from two sides. Yeah. So as we look back upon the experience with our imu, you know, if it push came to shove tomorrow morning, if we had all the materials to put together an imu, there's no doubt in my mind that you would know exactly how to put this thing together.
Oh, easy. It's a little slower. My back not that strong as before.
So I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but Papa said to tell you there's going to come a time real soon that you're going to be doing that imu again for something. I don't know why, but you're going to head up the imu. You're not going to be doing the work, but you're going to be the luna. You're going to be the po'o in charge of, okay, we going to do this. Whatever that is, I just delivering that message to you.
I could do it.
Yeah. And he's saying, yeah, I know you can do it. And he's very proud of you.
Thank you.
For what you've become, because if anything you learned, was where you came from, the culture. The darn air condition got dust again in this room.
But somebody turn off the air conditioner.
Turn off the doggone air condition. But Kent, thank you for sharing your mana'o about your ʻohana, Grandma and Grandpa Solomon, what they've meant to you. Obviously, they meant so much to you, but you are more enriched for it.
Definitely.
And that's all we have is our stories to share. So I'm sure your kids appreciate you and Papa them for that. Any final words you would like to share with our guest? You can share from your na'au, anything that you got out of today's talk, or maybe something you just would like to share in general for the younger generations out there.
You know, I leading up to our interview, I had to think back, reflect back on what my life was like growing up with that side of my father's side of the family, and my relationship with my grandparents. I cherish those memories. And now as a papa, last night my moʻopuna was in my house, and we were all in my bed watching Bluey.
Oh, yes.
All night, me and my moʻopuna, and they would go, Papa, can we get a auto pop from the freezer and eat with you on that bed? Sure, but Grandma said no. I don't care, just come. And so I think the relationship I had with my grandparents, I want to establish a relationship with my grandchildren.
Yes.
So that they have the type of memories that I have of me, that I have of them, of my grandparents. So with that, love the family.
If love your family. If anything we got out of today's session of this storytelling is that continue to tell your stories,
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
Because you might think it's boring to your kids or grandkids, but really, they're listening.
You're listening.
You might not be animated in telling your stories. You might not have a color or high-pitched tonality in your stories, but I guarantee you, even if they hear the story for the 20th time, you'll hear them say, "Oh, Dad, oh, Papa, tell us that story again."
Yeah.
Because it's really, truly, honestly, what leads one generation to the next, so they can talk about future and past generations. Without your stories, we're nothing.
Where's the connection? Where's the connection?
Yes, exactly. So thank you for watching this episode. We're sorry, I might have been a little teary-eyed, but we'll probably get these air-conditioned ducts fixed on the next one. Yes. But Ken, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
Family out there, thank you for watching another episode of Kuka with our kupuna. I'm Tony Silva on behalf of Keola Mamo. Malama pono until we see again. Ahuiho.
Aloha.